Hello, and this is the second video I'm going to use for observation inference to show my geoscience kids how to differentiate between things they can really observe and things that they infer based on those observations. This is a picture of a sandstone, what used to be a beach or a swampy area, probably horizontal, like you can see this foreground. For scale, you can see the individual people. These are pretty good sized prints. But I doubt these dinosaurs actually walked up this 70-degree inclined sandstone, and even if it was sandstone, they didn't leave their footprints. But this was probably horizontal. Don't know whether these guys came at different times. We could actually look at see which footprints are on top of which to actually see who was there first. It looks like they didn't interact. This one kept going in a straight line, either up or down. This one left or right. You can see there's a third one coming in there. There's a fourth one over here. Another one coming up over there. They theorize there are about 50,000 to 80,000 dinosaur prints here. They lost about 3,000 of these. These are in Bolivia, when you can see the sandstone is actually weathering and it's physically eroding, physically weathering and then falling down, and that piece right there, which actually took out some dinosaur tracks, could be these rocks that are down here. But anyway, I'm going to show my kids the difference between observation and inference. First thing, I have to show them what an observation is. This is any information you can collect using your five senses. Things like seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. You can do these quantitatively, where you actually assign a number and a unit with them. Things like 3 meters long, or it holds 4 marbles, or it has a mass of 50 kilograms. Or has a temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. These do require numbers as well as units. I try to get my kids to understand anytime they write a number without a unit, they're not giving me true data. They can also be qualitative, which means you're describing non-measurable things, or at least you didn't use a measurable tool to actually do this. These lack numbers and units. Things like red flowers, if you wanted to make this quantitative, rather than qualitative, you'd have to use a spectroscope and figure out the wavelength of the red. Smells like fresh baked cookies. You could probably put that through some sort of a tool to figure out the organic molecules in there and see how much smell is there or how bitter the taste is. But these don't use numbers or units. These are qualitative observations. It's a skill describing scientific events, describing something that can be directly observed from what you're seeing. Now, an inference is a little different. This is a conclusion also, but we're doing this based on your observations. So you're actually like saying people are running toward, or they're running and they're actually running toward rather than away, or a whole lot of other different sources. And I'm going to have my kids work on trying to figure out whether their observations are inferences in a worksheet. It's a process of drawing a conclusion given evidence based on past experience and hopefully coming up with a correct but sometimes incorrect conclusion. Here are examples. Hearing people screaming. If you hear that noise in the background, I'm having my house power washed, and he's right outside my office right now. So I hear people screaming. Are they screaming with joy, screaming with fear? That can be inferred. It can also be why they're actually screaming in joy, or if they're screaming in joy, are they actually on like a roller coaster and they love it, or are they screaming in fear because they're on a roller coaster and they don't love it? Smell of cotton candy, popcorn, and hamburger. Why would you get all three of those? Probably if the circus was in town. Now he's power washing the windows, so should get really loud. And there are a lot of people running, toward or away from. We can actually infer that they're running towards something or away from them, even if we don't know exactly what they're doing. So what they're going to do is they're going to see three pictures. This is pane number 1. They're going to look at the 2 tracks of these animals, in this case they're dinosaurs, and list 3 observations as well as make an inference. They can be qualitative or quantitative. So we actually do have 2 dinosaurs. You can maybe make a guess on size. You can maybe guess that this one's traveling at the same pace, or this one's pace increases. You can say that they're coming together. You can make a guess on maybe what they're doing, but they're going to make 3 observations and inferences on that pane. Throw in another pane. I want them to see what they know and what do they think. So 3 observations and 3 inferences. It looks like they're definitely interacting with something. Don't know whether the pink one came here 2 days ahead and there was a scent there. It was going around experiencing the scent, and then 2 days later the blue one came in and experienced the same scent and walked around. We don't know whether they're at the same time and they're dancing around with each other. We don't know if they're coming at the same time and they're interacting predator-prey-ish, but they're going to make those observations. And then pane number 3, what do they know? What do they think? 3 observations, 3 inferences. Is the pink one a bird and it flew away? Is the pink one tasty and it got eaten? Anything like that. And then they want them to, in their science notebook, to make a conclusion based on the purpose. The purpose was basically to figure out the difference between observations and inferences, and were they able to do so. This is a close-up image of the 2 main interactions, and we can actually see who got there first by, is this one on top of and obliterates the one below it, or is this one on top and obliterates what below it. That's it. Thank you much for stopping by. Bye-bye.